Good evening. In our last class, we have been discussing about how to design filters and how to find out the response values from the pole zero plot. Okay, so uh, that method which I explained to you to find out the frequency response, it is regarded as the geometric method of determination of frequency response of any given filter. Because what we are doing, we are using the geometric means to calculate the distance, and from there we are finding out the response. Okay. So then we saw that how we can design the low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter, band reject filter, and the notch filter. Now today we will be looking into one of the important thing, which is regarded as the radial positioning. So if you see in the Z plane, we are basically dealing with the radius. Okay, we are having an unit circle, and along a specific radius, we are either putting the poles or the zero. If we increase the radius length, we will be going to the nearer to the what you call frequency axis, and if we reduce the radius length, then we will be towards the origin. We will be moving the poles of the zeros towards the origin. Okay. So it becomes customary to understand how the radial positioning of the poles and the zeros, they can affect the amplitude response. Okay. So let us take three examples. Over here, we are having poles at three positions. Pole at 0.9, 0.5 and 0.3. And if you look into the amplitude response over here, and there are no zeros, okay, over here. So if you look into the amplitude response, what is happening when the pole is near to the what you call unit, this unit circle, then we are having a high amplitude response. Then as we go away from the unit circle, the amplitude response, it decreases. Okay. Similarly, if you look into the zero aspect, so when we have placed the zero at on the unit circle, then at 0.5 and 0.3, so if you see, when we have put it at z equals to 1, that means on the unit circle, the amplitude response at the DC frequency, it has become 0, and when we have moved towards the origin, the amplitude, it has increased. Okay. So again at pi, that means the highest, at the highest frequency, we are having the highest amplitude value. Okay. So this is just a schematic representation. It has not, we have not calculated anything over here. Just to give you an understanding what is happening, I have just drawn a schematic diagram, and to make you understand what happens when we change the radial positions of the this poles and the zeros within the unit circle. Okay. So next, another important thing is that let us take an example. So let us take this as the case one. Okay. So in the case one, we have 0 at minus 0.9. Okay, at this position. Then at poles at 0.9 and 0. Okay, so we can have this thing. So from here we should be able to find out the transfer function. We have already discussed previously, right? Then what happens if we just remove this pole in the second case? Okay, so we get this kind of pole zero plot. Okay, and in the third case, what we do is that if you compare the case 1 and the case 3, case 1 and the case 3, if you see this position, it is similar, and we have added just another 0 which is at the same position as that of the pole. Okay, So what we have done, we are having a system where we are having some poles and the zeros, and in the case 3, what we have done, we have added a zero over the pole, okay, additional pole. So what has happened over here, if you see, in the second case, if you see minimum number of zeros and the poles, so over here we have this response at 0, we are having 1.9, and at pi we are having 0.1. So when we are having this pole, additional pole, we are having at DC frequency, we are having an amplitude gain of 19, and at pi we are having a gain of 0.05. Okay, so it was quite obvious because we are having two poles and a zero, and the addition of a pole near to the unit circle, it has increased the amplitude response. Okay, it has significantly increased the amplitude response near the DC frequency. Okay, now when we remove that pole, the amplitude response it decreased, right? Now, in the third case, when we added this extra zero over the pole, and if you compare the case 1 and the case 1 and the case 3, आपको इसका चेक करने के लिए बोला था ये, हाँ नहीं नहीं यहाँ पे ये तो इधर ही है, ये ऊपर ये आपका ये कुछ ये नया ऐड हुआ है, ये सर्च का, ये इसको आपको हटाने के लिए बोला था मैंने, क्योंकि यहाँ पे कुछ भी लिखने से वो उधर आ जाता है. So if you now compare this case 1 and case 3, so what is happening? So there is a drastic change. Now, if you compare case 2 and case 3, the same output. Okay, how that is so? This is only possible when we are putting this extra zero over the pole. It is behaving as the case 2 filter. That means as if the second pole does not exist. Okay, in the second case, what is there? We are having only a single zero and a single pole. Okay, so what does this example show us? This example shows us that if you are having a pole and onto that pole if we add a zero, then the activity of the pole will be negated. Okay, so it will vanish, right? So even if you perform or if you design that kind of that kind of filter, so what will happen? You are unnecessarily increasing the computational burden onto the system. Okay, so the system complexity is increasing. However, it is behaving as a lower order filter. Okay, it is behaving as a lower order filter where you could have achieved the same kind of computational efficiency using smaller resources. Okay, now coming to the next stage. So over here what happens is that when we place a pole over a pole, see, so this one was there, and we have added one extra pole onto the pole. So when we have added an extra pole onto the pole, if you look into the DC frequency, because DC frequency is the omega naught frequency over here. So if you look over here, what has happened? There is a significant increase in the amplitude response. So what is happening? If you place a pole over a pole, the amplitude response will be magnified. However, if you place a pole over a zero or a zero over a pole, they will cancel their each other's effect. And if you place a 0 over a 0, what is the role of the 0? The role of the 0 is that it will suppress the amplitude response, and there will be a marked decrease in the amplitude response if you place a 0 over a 0. Okay, so as we will get into the next levels of digital filter designing, so we will be getting into the FIR and IR filter designs. So what we will be having is that, suppose we are getting this kind of transfer function. This is a generalized transfer function. Okay, this is a generalized transfer function. So if I have to ask you to determine the amplitude response and the phase response, till now, whatever we have done, we have calculated the amplitude and the phase response using the geometric measures. Okay, but there is a mathematical representation too. So when we get this kind of thing, so what we have to do, we have to convert this Z inverse into a complex domain. So we can replace this Z inverse with e to the power minus j omega t. Okay, why we have replaced with e to the power j omega t? Because when we are talking about the frequency response, we are only interested on the frequency axis. We are only interested on the frequency axis. And what is the frequency axis? It is nothing but your the unit circle. So what is this e to the power minus j omega t? What does this signify? We have discussed in our DFT class that it signifies a unit circle. Right? If you calculate the modulus, it is 1, and over that unit circle we are revolving where the angle corresponds to the frequency. Right? So once you get into this position, so we can convert it into this real and the imaginary parts. So 1 plus cos omega t minus j of sin omega t. Okay, we can write it in this fashion. So here we are considering that a is equal to 1. Okay, so when we are considered for the sake of simplicity, so a equals to 1. So this becomes cos omega t, basically e to the power minus j omega t is cos omega t minus of j sin omega t. We will get into this form, and then we will get the real component and the imaginary component. So if we consider this now as the a minus jb, so what you have to do, you have to multiply both numerator and denominator with its conjugate value, a plus jb divided by a plus jb. So you get in the denominator a square plus b square, and in the numerator we get a plus jb. Okay, so it is nothing plus capital A plus jb. In that format you can write out. So capital A is equal to basically a square plus b square, and capital B is equals to b by a square plus b square, right? So what is the modulus of this one? Under root of a square plus b square, and phase will be h of omega t. Okay, now how will you determine the phase? You will be determining this phase. I hope all of you remember this diagram. क्या है? Here in the first quadrant, your responses, phase response would be tan inverse of b by a. In the second quadrant, it will be tan inverse of b by a plus pi. In the third quadrant, it will be tan inverse of b by a minus pi, and in the fourth quadrant, it is again tan inverse of b by a. Okay. So again at a it will be 0, b क्या है pi by 2. In the negative axis, what you will be having minus a, it will be basically pi or minus pi. Okay, and when it is minus b, so it will be minus pi by 2. Basic trigonometric functions. Okay, so this is the thing. So as we will get into this FIR filters and IR filters, and then we will be discussing about this calculation of the this frequency responses. This image or this slide should be crystal clear into your mind. इसका print out ले लो. Wherever you study, you just paste it over. Okay. So this should be clear in your mind. If you are not clear in this, you will be making mistakes in your biomedicals. Okay. So take a printout of this one. Now with this we complete this chapter. These are all just the basic things. Okay. So what I would ask you, because we'll be having a lot of time, so I will ask you to compute the amplitude responses at 0, pi by 4, pi by 2, 3 pi by 4, and pi for both these cases. Okay. Here we need to consider that there is a pole, because we know that for a causal system the number of poles should be either equal to or greater than equal to 0. Okay. In the first case we do not need a 0, but in the second case we need a pole. Okay. So consider that pole, it is present at 0.9. Okay. Please do this.